folks, thank you so much for joining us today for this brief video presentation on Clover invoicing. I've just pulled up the Clover dashboard, so you'll be required to sign into your very own account via clover.com. And here you will find under new sale what we call the virtual terminal. Now, within the virtual terminal, you have all kinds of tools, but our primary focus today is going to be invoicing, which you can see is available here within the dropdown. So let's walk through the process of sending out an invoice. So number one, we want to make sure that we select our transaction type, set it to invoicing, of course. Next, we'll go ahead and key in the dollar amount. So let's just make it $100 today. Taxes can be applied when necessary. You can see I have the option available for just that. There's also going to be the note field, which is truly important because this can serve as a reminder as to what this is for, right? So I can just put down something like test invoice for this purpose. And there's also room for a convenience fee. This is an optional feature. You can choose to enable or disable this field actually. As we scroll further down, we'll get a chance to key in our customer information, which typically includes first, last name, phone number, email, etc. In this case, instead of me having to key in all that information, I'll just go ahead and use my existing client, Mr. John Smith. I'll click on his name. Right, everything else pretty much populates for me, and I can go ahead and schedule my due date. Let's just make it in the next 7 days. I'll go ahead and tap on create invoice. And that's all there is to it. It's my expectation that that invoice is now sitting in my customer inbox waiting to be paid out. Now, I can always keep track of that invoice via what we call the invoice manager, which is available here under the sales activity. You can see I've got invoices right here. And this particular section will allow me to keep track of all the invoices that I have out there in circulation. You can see I have quite a few here for Mr. John Smith. Of course, the most recent one is found here at the very top in the pending status. I can always use these three dots in order to possibly send out a reminder, actually view the invoice, or even cancel it if need be. Now, I'm going to take a moment to actually show you guys what that invoice looks like from the customer's perspective. So I'm going to just quickly switch screens for you. And here is the invoice that the customer would have received. Of course, you have the logo and the business name, address, and phone number up at the very top. You see the due date, July 19th, based on the way that I scheduled the invoice to be paid out. And we also have the description, which, as you remember, I keyed in test invoice. We've got our subtotal, taxes, convenience fee, and we also have the option here to pay out the invoice, which of course customer can satisfy this invoice by either credit debit or possibly through banking ACH. Once this invoice has been paid out, I, as the merchant, will receive a notification saying, hey, you've been paid. I can always verify the transaction in my transaction history. But that's all there is to it. That has been Invoicing 101. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.